Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. This is Lenor and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Virgo. If you are a Virgo in the solar, lunar, ascendant slash rising position, I'll get through this, I promise. This is a message for you. Okay, I'm so happy to have you and let's get started. Okay. All right. I'm just so happy I get to do a reading today. Our power went out earlier. We've been having lots of ice, lots of snow, a lot of tree branches falling, that kind of thing. Hopefully you all are doing well, and if you've had these weather events going on here in North America, I hope that you're getting through them safely, happily, and warm. Okay, let's see what we have. Oh, I also wanted to mention, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching the video, watching the reading. If you are interested in subscribing to the channel, please go ahead and do that so you won't miss any future videos. If you would be so kind as to like this video, it helps me get into the algorithm. And leave a comment if you feel like you want to give me any kind of input, if you want to tell me about how this is resonating with you, or just say hello. All right, so I'm going to start with these ones because they are the main, they feel like the main formations here, and they're really kind of sticking out. Okay, so this first one I'm seeing really is so much a goat. Here's the head, and here are the horns here, and then the body, and the chest is really kind of puffed out and up, right? So this is always such a sign of leadership, of confidence, of ability, agility, just survival, hardiness, all those lovely things, right? And I feel like this one really, the positioning is almost as if it is towards maybe being somebody involved, but it's so prominent and so beautiful, and I just get the impression that this is very much you. I see these little trails. My daughter and I are learning how to decipher tracks in the snow. I come from a family that there were trackers on my paternal side. We are indigenous to North America, so we have some trackers not too far back in the lineage. So I see that kind of emerging in my interests, and really getting my daughter into that. So anyways, that's a so these look like tracks, okay? And immediately I think this is movement. It's a rising, okay? Maybe you have risen in position in your work life. Maybe there's been some kind of transition within the home or the family where you have taken more of a leadership role. Maybe more of the responsibilities have been put on you, or maybe you just naturally take lead and, get things done. And just, it doesn't, because this is a male goat, that doesn't mean anything, obviously. In my readings, I just feel that a lot of these the gender roles just fall away. These male, female, masculine, feminine, and all, beyond and within the spectrums and whatever. It's all interchangeable, and I'm not going to go off on a tangent about my own relationship with it's not even about gender identity. It's just the And I like to use more of the ideas of the archetypes that are active within us, or that are dormant, or are being, waiting to be discovered. And within all of those archetypes, there are various configurations of gender identities or energies, or however you like to put it. So within us, that means there are many, many different, many different expressions, right? So anyhow, when I say, okay, this is a go and whatever, don't get caught up on that part. I know I had a comment about something like that a few weeks ago, and I just, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I don't want to get too far into any of that kind of discussion, but I just want to let you know that these kind of readings are very fluid, very ambiguous in some ways. It does not, there are no fixed meanings or one perspectives, or traits, or any of that have to be so fixed, as I said. So anyways, now back to the sign here. So I really do think that you really have come into this role, and I think that you're kind of very proud of it. Just by the posture of this goat, I really think that you just are feeling yourself, okay, Virgo? I think that this is a natural role for you, okay? I think that you're a great leader. This doesn't have to be outside of the home, but maybe it is. Maybe, like I said, maybe this is a career thing, or maybe you just are really an A-type person. Okay, that I'm not exactly sure, but I think that because I'm seeing these tracks, this is a newer role for you. Okay, so you have come up, and I think you've done a lot of the work to get there, because there are these measured steps leading up to where you are. I also see the glances upwards. This also makes me think that this is not only something going on in your physical life, but this is something that's very much affecting your emotional state and your spiritual state. I think this is something that makes everything kind of feel like it's flowing together. I feel like you feel very imbalanced with these different parts of yourself. I don't know that you knew so much that this was going to really be the thing that was going to help you kind of feel almost fulfilled in these other areas. And it's not so much even being fulfilled. There's an ease. Okay, a flow, an easy flow coming through. I feel like this movement towards your leadership role has helped you eliminate some of the blockages that were happening. Maybe you were feeling uninspired. Maybe you had some doubts in the spiritual realm. Maybe you had been feeling kind of melancholy or depressive or uneasy or anxious, any of those things. But this movement towards this leader role that you have going on, I think that this has kind of eased some of that stuff. I don't know, obviously when we feel that way, there are a variety of reasons, and how we're doing within our work or family life doesn't cure everything, right? And that's understandable. But sometimes, and this is something I've learned very much having a toddler, is that sometimes it's okay to divert attention to other things so that we don't dwell in whatever is going on emotionally, or, just having outpouring reactive states or something like that. Sometimes we need something sometimes we need a little win for ourselves so we can really start to get moving forward once again. Okay. So I feel like that's probably a pretty big deal for you, and congratulations. Okay. So now this is locked in right into this horn. So I think this is the other side of, the other side of this for you. Okay. This is still related to you. This is now let's see the body, and then the head, and then another horn. So I am seeing a rhinoceros, which I haven't really ever had a rhinoceros in a tea reading, and I'm very excited about it because I went through a period of time where I was having these beautiful dreams about rhinoceroses on a beach, going into the water and beginning to swim. So this symbol really takes me back to that, to those beautiful dreams that I was having. And for me, 100%, the rhinoceros is very tied into a sense of well-being, actualized spirit. Okay, just a really an awakening. The horn is always considered such a holy symbol, a symbol of enlightenment, illumination, being connected to the God source. Okay, and being being receptive of the word or divine inspiration. Okay, and also the interesting thing about the horn is that it is a means of opening. So this is something to open a ritual, open a doorway, open a portal, things like that. So connected to this beautiful animal, the rhinoceros, which we know is just so sure-footed, powerful, has great stamina, runs very fast, right? You wouldn't think that an animal like that would run so quickly, but they do. And something that I remember reading about the rhinoceros while I was having these dreams and writing about them is that the rhinoceros and its little tribe, I don't know what their little groups are called off the top of my head, but they are an animal that really impacts the environment that they live in. They change the riverbeds, the lake beds that they live near. They're heavy animals, so when they go on, whatever paths, they create paths, hunting path, or what is it called? A game path, I guess. When they use these certain places to walk and sleep and have their families and rest and drink and all of these things, they really impact the environment. And so they create an environment that works for them. And that is such a beautiful idea, right? We as beings being able to go into a place and to, in some ways, mold it to what we need, but not to a point where it's destructive, a point that they are in balance with their environment, but they are also able to reap the benefits of the minor changes that they've made. Okay, so they've customized the landscape around them so that they are able to thrive. And that is such a beautiful, beautiful thought, isn't it? And for me, that makes me think of the concept of a world creator, a magician, somebody who is able to create an atmosphere, an experience, to build a whole place full of sensation, to build a home, to build an environment where people feel safe, to bore magic into this reality, the shared reality, but also within your own reality. Okay, so now I see this locked into this leadership role here with the goat, and these two horns are locked together. And actually is kind of a shared horn here too. But what does that really mean? Okay. I think this is just really such a time of great spiritual flourishing, of development. And actually, let me just stop really quick before I keep going too much. I want to bring this card up. So this is the 10 of Cups, okay? And this is the card that I pulled before the reading started. I pick a card for each cup that I'm going to be reading. And the 10 of Cups is very much related to completion and often related to the ending cycle, the completion of a self-development, of a spiritual project, a spiritual cycle, some kind of spiritual evolution that you've been working on, a spiritual operation, something like that. Okay. So it makes me think that you've really, really been very intentional about not only getting into this leadership role, but I wonder if you had some kind of spiritual project going on, some kind of maybe ritual operation, something, a new shift, asking, appealing, praying for some kind of clarity, for some kind of meaning, some kind of message, something like that. But I think it is even more involved than that. I think that you have set up various pieces and put them together, and maybe something felt like it was just kind of missing. You weren't really getting that last piece. But I think, and this is why I'm saying that, when you got into this leadership role more in your work or family environment, it somehow clicked this other piece into place. And I think it really is that you just had to, sometimes we have to really experience something before we can fully understand it. We can understand, okay, I'm a leader, but until you've been in that position of being the leader, of, functioning in that role, truly having to plan and delegate and manage and, all the many things that go into being the head of a group of people, you can't really know. Okay. It's just a concept. And now I think stepping into that role has really given you the confidence. It's given you a functional understanding. And I think it's really clicked into place with whatever spiritual thing you had going on. Okay. And I think that's so important. And I've spent a lot of time talking about it. So I think that really that's the big takeaway here. Let's look at some of the other stuff we have going on. I have way up here in the spiritual realm. Okay, this is on the edge. So this is going to be metaphysical. This is going to be, higher consciousness. This is going to be guardian angel, message from beyond, message from the ancestors, something like that. This H, there is an H. So we're looking for, oops, and maybe I was off screen. This is an H right here. And so maybe we're looking for somebody with an H name. Maybe we're looking for a personal deity or entity with an H name. Maybe this is, I don't know, some kind of word that will reveal itself to you, something that will come up in synchronicity. I'm not exactly sure, but I know that it is important and it's in the spiritual realm. So I would look for it in, something repeating itself in your dreams, in active imagination, meditation, prayer, any kind of thing like that. Okay. I feel like something with an H is going to be important. Okay. The other thing I'm seeing here, towards the spiritual realm, this is a little dog, okay? So I've feel like, and I've been very influenced by somebody's comment on one of my videos. I can't remember exactly which one, but they had said that they relate a dog to friendship. And I do as well, although I don't necessarily always think of it as a friendship. I think of it more as like a loyalty. But I think also the friendship piece is so important, okay? And I think I have in the past missed that part. So I think that right now, with everything that's going on, you really have somebody who you've had in your life for a long time. I think that they understand you, and you have weathered some things together. And I think that this person is really so happy for you. And I think that on top of everything else that you have going on, and with this new leadership role, I know you're probably very busy, but this is a person that I think you need to go out of your way to celebrate your accomplishments with. I think they're going to be so happy to do that. And I think that that is something that you should do intentionally and mindfully. Okay. And I think that that's just a wonderful part of your relationship. Not just a text about it or, you know, a phone call, but maybe set something up, you know, hang out, go have dinner. Or if, you know, you're far apart, if this is like somebody you know online or whatever, which we all have a lot of friends. A lot of my friends are online, or people who have been my friends in real life. You know, we've all moved to different places in the world and whatnot, and we keep in touch online. So, if not a phone call, maybe like a video chat, or, you know, spend a little extra time communicating with them in a special way. Okay. And I think that's really important. That'll be a really nice thing for you and for them. Okay, now I'm seeing this figure. It's kind of bent over, and then I'm seeing a beautiful kind of moon, and it looks like some kind of plant matter. And maybe you can't see it. It kind of looks like on the video that it's kind of more incorporated into this like skirt or robe or whatever they're wearing. Maybe right there you can kind of see a bit what I'm seeing. And so this one for me really just is this idea of sowing seeds. I know it's, you know, either the beginning of winter for you. It feels like we've been in winter for a long time already. Or beginning of summer if you're in the southern hemisphere. Okay, so not always an ideal time for planting, but if you are not planting, I think that you should start planning on what you will be planting this next season coming up, or, you know, tending to the things that you've already planted. Now, this could be in actuality, in real life, really planting a garden, planting flowers. I know that I'm already collecting my seeds. I'm very excited about planting a lot of native indigenous flowers to the area for our pollinators. So that takes some planning where I'm at. But, you know, I think that really this could also very much be planting inspiration for yourself, and that could be toward like something about self-care, or it's something that I don't hear a lot of people talk about when we're talking about setting ourselves up so that we can receive inspiration, or some kind of communication with the divine, or something, you know, receiving some kind of flowing synchronicities or what have you. And a big thing that you have to do, in my opinion, to get these things going is reading, writing, listening to music, doing things that are enriching, that are enrichment for your mind, heart, soul. So going to museums, going to plays, going to, movies, watching your favorite TV things, whatever it is, just getting different ideas, concepts, scenarios, ordeals, all of that. You don't have to read old arcane books and alchemical treaties or magical treaties or, whatever. I mean, those are wonderful things. And I think that it's good to explore everything, right? But we got it. We have to go to what speaks to us. We need to be able to meet the muse on our own level in the place that we're comfortable with. And so when we are getting ready to sow these seeds so that we can grow these inspirations, we should definitely go to where, the wealth is for us. So like for me, I love to listen to music. I listen to music almost every single day. I like to watch TV when I can, when I have time. I like to read a lot of poetry. I do read, but I just, I don't know, because of how my mind is wired or my brain is wired, it's hard for me to read long form. Plus I have a kid. So, so anyways, the point is I like to read, little fragments of things where I can. I find a lot of stuff on Tumblr and I read a lot of poetry because that is something that it's like it's like sustenance for me. And it really gets me ready to receive messages and think. And it opens my heart. It makes me emotional. And it happens quickly. So I think that is a great thing to get ready to do. Also, meditation, breathing. I said writing, making lists, drawing, painting, whatever it is, smelling different things. I know things like I think they call it aromatherapy, but more like just to smell things to get yourself into a vibe. Like I put on different oils to read or to do my readings, or to, do different things. If I'm going to cook, maybe I want to put on some lemongrass or, some black pepper and something sweet or whatever. I just like to vibe with things. So, yeah. This one, let's see. This one and this one and this one. I've been trying to figure out what this is. It almost kind of seems like a tower. It makes me think of a tower. And this is interesting too, because it looks like some kind of person pointing, and then there's like the arrow, right? And then it kind of goes to this other triangle here, which I think is also interesting. This one looks like Mercury or Hermes. Okay, and and I need to get this light a little better. It reminds me of a statue kind of on a little pedestal, but the head with the wings and then the kind of robe. So we'll go back here. So I get this image of this like landscape, this little scenario happening. Okay. And I'm seeing this it reminds me of like Babylon, or like some depictions of a goddess riding a lion. Sorry, I was hearing something in the background there. I'm always waiting for my daughter to really get restless. So anyways, a lion, and she is in this, the kind of this build or destroy mode, but also a warring mode. Okay. And she's pointing so strong, and it's so strong. There's this big arrow pointing this way. Behind her is this tower. Okay. And this makes me think of, is there a problem? Is there something standing in the way? It's not burning yet. It's not been destroyed. Nothing has hit it to crumble it or to set it ablaze. Okay. But with this, oh gosh, sorry. this Mercury or Hermes, okay, who is the messenger, who in my estimate is a pretty moody, kind of little trickstery, likes to stir the pot sometimes, okay, but for good reason, to get the energies flowing, okay, to get the thinking flowing, to get that inspiration flowing. So I wonder here if there is some kind of almost, I get this feeling, okay, that there's this like almost feeling of needing to live up to this like leadership, this this like head of the family, the real serious, stern, stoic, you know, strong, can't show any weakness, kind of this feeling of that going on. This is like you have this, now you've gotten rid of your blockages for the for your spiritual stuff to kind of click into place, but it's almost like you are getting so serious about this being this leader person that you're losing parts of yourself. Maybe you're usually a little more silly. You're a little more flexible. You're a little more, you know, you let things go. Maybe you're even, sometimes you just are a little more passive about conflict and, but not to like a fault or anything, but just because you don't always think it's necessary to engage. Okay. And so there's become this kind of almost like growing tower energy going on where you're just almost like very wound up to some degree, but but your true nature is really ready to fight this like instinct to kind of mirror your understanding of like what a leader might look like, what you think, you know, how you've experienced other leaders in your personal life, teachers, mentors, family members, you know, people, superiors at work, so on. And so you're going, because you're new to this position, I think you're going to have to go through this little kind of war with yourself at times so that you can return back to this kind of flowing, more flexible. And now I will say mercurial, but I don't necessarily mean moody. I just mean the energy, your ability to ebb and flow, to you know, decide if you're going to go all in or you're going to hold back a little bit, see how it goes, whatever it is. You're not a person that is always one thing, okay? I think that you're a person that kind of changes with the wind sometimes, but that also maybe is what is going to make you a wonderful leader, because you have the ability to change with the needs of the situation, with the people around you, okay? And you can accommodate a vast amount of problems, and you'll have things to deal with, okay? Because you're the one in charge now, okay? So I really think that there's this idea that you need to kind of remember yourself. It's going to be kind of a struggle to find your actual leadership style, and, you know, bring your personality, go with your intuition, you know, go forth in a way that feels true and authentic to you. Okay. And I think that that's true of anything that we're doing. Okay. In life, when we're new at something, we mimic, we parrot, we mirror, and we kind of try to live out these ideas of, you know, the thing that we're doing based on how we've seen other people do it and how we get comfortable. And that's okay. And I think that, You know, I have a feeling it's going to work out just fine for you. Okay, now I'm going to get to the saucer. I'm going pretty long here. Let's see. Let's see. What do we have? What do we have? I'm going to put that down. Okay, so this one looks like a little chili pepper. Okay, so I think there's a little bit of spice going on in your life as well. I didn't really see much about another person, but I think that this really ties into you getting into this new role, this new confidence you're having. I think it's really making you just, in general, feel more confident in your love life, feel more confident in your romantic life, in your partnership, or dating, or, you know, however, or with whoever, however that's going. Okay. But I think that you really have this kind of, how should we say, maybe a little bit of more of a libido, or a little bit more, pep in your step, even, and just feeling good romantically, because you're being fulfilled in all these other places. So it's really flowing into how you're relating to other people. Okay, and let's see. When I have this tea like this and it's like shifting around, it tells me that there are shifting emotions. There's kind of this very watery, kind of watery state. But that's good, because we were talking about that. We want to get back to this more, you know, liquid silver, or quicksilver. That's what it's called, quicksilver. Very, you know, movement around, activating the different parts of self, being able to shift from one place to another, to have more than one piece of that going at once. Okay, so other than that, I think it's just going to be a lot of little tedious things happening. I think that you're just figuring things out for yourself. I think I get this imagery of like somebody coming in with a stack of files, and I know this is old school, okay? A lot of stuff is paperless now, but like coming into your new office with your new desk and just putting down a huge stack of files. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be done, a lot of little tedium. It feels like maybe you're setting new things up. I get this, like, I'm like thinking about like, oh, okay, you're taking over. This is just an example. It's not necessarily what is happening, but, like if you are taking over kind of a leadership role in your family, like you're moving into taking care of your parents, or a parent, or, you know, somebody who needs help in your family, and you're like having to do like all their doctor's appointments and their prescriptions, and making sure that they're getting to this place on this day. And, you know, they have like the special kind of milkshake drink things that they like, and, you know, stuff like that. Just like paying the bills, you know, communicating with other family members, keeping everybody in the loop, all this kind of stuff that happens when you take like one of these caregiver leadership types of roles. So I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on for you. I think that just really making lists, always, I mentioned this in a lot of my readings, making lists, staying organized, you know, pacing yourself, not getting burnt out. Don't burn yourself out, and doing what you can, but also delegating, asking for help. And, you know, just, you can't do everything by yourself always. Okay. And I know you're a Virgo. I am also a Virgo, solar Virgo. So I understand this feeling that we get as Virgos, that, we have to just do everything ourselves. We have, you know, I'm so bad at like asking for help, and then like, okay, and then I just end up doing it myself anyways. And it's not because I don't trust somebody else to do what I ask them to do. It's just because I don't know. I have this weird like thing where I just feel like it's like my duty to do every single little thing that I can, you know, and, if I have 5 minutes to myself, I am going to be, in the other room folding towels or, picking things up or making appointments or whatever it is, just my downtime. I'm just always doing stuff and I just don't quit. So I feel like you probably are kind of in the same boat sometimes. So you got to ask for help. You have to, or you're going to get burnt out real quick. So thank you, Virgo. This is a long one, 40 minutes almost. Oh my goodness. Okay, so thank you so much for spending your time with me. I'm always so honored to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind to like the video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know how I'm doing. Tell me what kinds of symbols you saw in the bowl. And I just like hearing your guys' stories so much. I really do. It makes me happy to wake up in the morning and there's some comments and, just telling me about your life and your situations. And I feel very connected to each and every one of you that reaches out. So I thank you. And other than that, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this. I'm sending you all my love. Welcome to 2023. It's going to be a great year, I think. I hope. We're going to make it a great year, right? Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great time. I just already said all that. All right. Bye-bye.